Hi, you guys. This is Acrylic Painting Monday. I want to welcome everybody to our show of teaching acrylic painting. Today we're doing something a little different. I call this the very best winter scene, and the reason being is that it took a little while to do it. I started this thinking that I could finish it in an hour, and it took
hour and a half tops.
An hour and a half tops, and I found that in order to really give you the great detail that I wanted, you can see where we've got the reflections and all that. It took a little bit longer, so we had this brilliant idea. So the entire tutorial is done. At some point in the tutorial, we're going to stop it here on YouTube, and it's going to be free over on acrylicpaintingwithgingercook.com. There'll be the link, and so you can at your leisure take your time and see the whole thing finalized and finished, and why that might probably change how you think of approaching painting snow like this. And now, one of the things that we started off we had started off with some gold paint, some gold deep paint, but any old gold paint would do. And then I had some satin glazing liquid, which we tried over, which really was kind of a failure. We just decided that didn't work. Also, at one point, I made quite a thing about trying to get some sponge work in here, and then decided we didn't need that either. So we encourage you to watch this. This painting goes through such an ugly stage before it gets to this.
Oh, major.
And to the point where John couldn't even figure out what I was painting. And the reason this is important is that it's like building a house. You got to understand where what it's got to look like before it looks like something else, and how to adjust for it. So I would say this is probably an advanced lesson. Usually we don't do this complicated a lesson. It's what I would call a 4-cookie lesson.
Yeah, this is a good 3.5 cookies, if not a 4.
Cookie lesson. But there's so much information, and if your New Year's goal is to really improve and get to kick your painting up to the next level, this is the tutorial for it. Take your time, enjoy it. I want to thank our mods for watching, and we don't expect you to finish the tutorial on our website. Today, just hang in there with us till we switch over, and next week we'll probably just do everything on YouTube. But I hope you have fun with this.
Yeah.
Hey, you guys! It's Acrylic Painting Monday. I hope everybody had a wonderful holiday. John and I are still in Australia. And
are we?
Yeah, this is our premiere.
Oh, yeah, it is.
And John says, "Are we?" Yeah, we're going to still be in Australia. So if it's 8:30 in the morning and we're up, we're with the premiere. If not, it's fun to plan ahead. Imagine what life will be like in Australia at the time that this video is going to be airing. We thought of you, and we want to make this special and fun. And of course, I want to be able to answer questions in the chat, but only if you're part of the premiere. And I'll be typing along with you, keeping in mind my typing is probably, it's really dyslexic typists are a disaster, and I'm a disastrous typist. Everything gets misspelled, so I hope you understand what I'm saying when I'm typing the questions, which
and
is
usually all in caps, and she's not yelling.
Yeah, and all in caps, and I don't yell. But that being said, we're going to paint what I consider a painting called The Best of Winter. And we're just going to talk about something about this photograph really caught my imagination. I hope it catches yours. We're on a 9x12 canvas to make it. I think we're going to talk a few little glazing techniques here. I haven't painted this before, but I'm imagining how I'm going to paint it. We're going to just create this together. And so maybe there won't be any glazing, but I think there will be. Yes, and yes.
Love it.
Maybe I'll take some gold paint. I've got some ideas. Why don't we let's co-create this together? What do you say?
I love it. All
right. So here's our paint that we're going to be using today. If I get out our paint color chart, and I may add some more, but I've got the titanium white, the zinc white, the buff titanium, burnt sienna, ultramarine blue. This is mauve. If you don't own mauve, Holbein mauve, it's really just a little magenta and ultramarine blue, I think makes a pretty good mauve. And then this is Payne's Gray, Cad Red Medium, cad yellow light, cad yellow medium. I think we still need yellow oxide, and we're going to need. I am going to put out magenta, and because I just find that painting without magenta is like dinner without salt.
Ooh.
That'd be a good gingerism, isn't it? Painting without magenta is like dinner without salt.
I need to write that one down.
I think that's a new gingerism for 2023. Oh, is it Happy New Year?
Oh, yeah. Hey, Happy New Year.
Yeah, Happy New Year, you guys. Yeah, so, it's a little bit behind the times.
We think it might be the 3rd for us.
Yeah.
Because this airs on Monday, and we on the 2nd, and we think it's going to be Tuesday.
And we fly home on the 9th. Back to Texas.
Yeah, but whose 9th is that?
I don't know. Somebody's 9th. Australia's 9th. I don't know if it's your 9th or not, because this world date thing really.
Oh, yeah, we go across the international date line. We get confused.
I get really confused. My mind just shuts down. Says yada 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 yada. No. Don't talk to me. Talk to the hand. The head isn't listening. One of those, right? So, that being said, we're going to do this great winter scene. But the Academy has a sort of spring scene, so I'll show you that later. The lesson for the Academy this week. But anyway, let me put this down. I've got a 9x12 canvas board. I like these canvas boards from Jerry's. They're pre-gessoed, pro creative mark. But you just gray and gray is kind of black and white, or you could use Payne's gray and white, or you could use 2 complementary colors mixed together plus white. Gets you a gray.
I'll get you a gray. You'll get a gray.
We just kind of want a neutral gray. And I've done a little bit of work with the photo on just to try to imagine how I might want to paint it. And it's something sort of like this, but I did a grid here. What Ginger's famous 2-line grid. John thinks that's hysterical, but it's nonetheless, that's what it is. Our 2-line grid. Let's get a pencil. So I've got like so, right? If you have not invested in a triangle this year, now's the time to go get one. They're very nice to get straight lines, easy to use, and I like the clear ones. So if we did the same thing on our canvas, so one of these rulers, I should have you take all the rulers out that don't have the tape, John. Just take them out of here, because I can't find the ruler with the tape, and I have it
right there in the whatever.
Well, right there where? There's a ruler with no tape. There's a ruler.
Are you looking in the rack?
I am looking in the rack. There's a ruler with no tape. I found 2 rulers with no tape. Here's a ruler or something.
It was orange.
It's just whatever it is. Maybe I can read this. I just need to find half of this, right? I'm not even going to just stress myself out. I don't think I need to use a ruler. I'm just going to do this and this, because I just can't deal with stress. It's a new year, Ginger's New Year's resolution, no stress, which means no more marathon crazy things. All right, so what we're going to do is, I don't want the green pencil. That's probably counterproductive. So we're going to do a line down here. And listen, I want it. That's half.
Okay, did you pull? Okay, hold on a second.
What?
Put that back up there.
Yeah.
Pull it down.
That's straight.
Hook it on. No, hook it on. Hook it fully on. Fully on.
It's on. It's straight. It's straight. Look at that. Still straight. Straight a minute ago, still straight now, you guys. I'm straight up with you, right?
Now you think that's a half? No, that's not half.
Well, maybe it isn't half. If I had a ruler, I could read.
You had a ruler. There's even a ruler on your stick right there in front on your T-square, you silly goof. Oh,
is there? Oh, yeah, so there is. All right. All right, so that's 12. It's upside down. I can't tell. I don't read upside down. This is a stupid ruler. It's upside down. I can only read it this way. All right,
a quarter inch off.
Well, darn if I'm not. Look at that. Well, shoot. Okay.
Now do the other one, because I know it's way off.
All right. Yeah, the other one didn't look very good either, does it? Where's half on it? Let's see. Where's 6? What is this, 9 by 12?
Yeah. Oh, it's half of 9. You say 4.5, did you say?
No, I didn't, but could be 4.5. Sounds good. Do you think it's 4.5, really? Yeah. Okay. All right.
It's 4.5 today. Maybe tomorrow will be different.
I don't know. We're in Australia. It's upside down. Could be anything.
That's true.
And they don't even use inches, do they? Do they use something else?
And I don't think they're metric. I think no, they must be metric. Everybody's metric except us,
Okay.
which is so stupid.
Well, fine. All right. There. Everybody's happy? We got it. Close
But
up.
now we've got an extra line, but I'll deal with it.
Good for you. Now I don't have the transfer. Now I don't have the reference photo anymore. Here it is. Well, it's 8:30 in the morning. What do you want, right?
Yeah, what do you expect from us?
All right. So you see this little quadrant here? Here to here, like that. There's our stream coming like that. And it crosses here. What's that, about 2 fingers? And it comes down to about like that. Yes? Now, notice that the curve of the stream here. This is halfway. So this is a little bit past halfway, about like that. And it does this. And then it cuts off this corner here, see that? Like so. And then it's doing kind of something like this and getting smaller. And then there's this little bank along here like that. All right, so then back here, just above the halfway point, is kind of some back hills. Not totally straight, but about like that. And then we know that we're going to have some trees like this. And gosh, that's it. Just pretty simple, right?
Wow.
That's it. That's it.
Well, again, this is a landscape, and you're not making a rocket ship here, folks.
No. So we already know what the colors are. And what I want to do now, I want to make this sort of spectacular. So I'm going to take some of this. This is golden acrylic paint, isn't it? This is just acrylic paint. And I'm going to take some, just any old gold paint, right? And I'm going to take my stream, and I'm going to paint it gold. Just, I can always paint it.
Now, if I don't have gold,
then it would be like yellow. Well, it would be white then. You'd have to glaze over this somehow.
okay.
But you can get gold paint, and some gold paint, gold gesso. You could do a very, very light pale yellow, probably is what I would do then, if you can't get gold. Okay? Then kind of smooth that out like that. All right, and then I want to I wish I'd used a wider brush. I'm sorry. I'm going to change brushes because I want a wider brush here. So I'm going to take some gold paint here, up here like this, and I'm going to paint the sky gold here. Now, as I move over, as crazy as it is, I'm going to use a little bit of that buff titanium, and I'm going to paint the rest of the sky with a little bit of buff titanium. Okay? Don't need gold going all the way across it. I'm thinking that I can get, now this may not work at all, but so watch the whole video in case it doesn't. It may be one of the worst ideas I've ever had.
Which we always advise when you watch Ginger's lessons, don't start painting along.
Yeah, so maybe though, I'm just going to go ahead and say.
Sometimes we change midstream, especially when we're designing as we go.
No pun intended here. All right, so that's my thought here, okay? And yeah, so then we're going to put the gold paint away, and then I'm going to just take a moment and really dry the poo out of this.
Dry the poo out of the creek.
Yeah, and I'll tell you I hope you've been following along in the YouTube Ginger's YouTube Gazette, because we've been including photographs. I assume, I'm guessing we have been, because actually haven't put any photographs in because it's before the trip. But I imagine our intention was to put some photographs in.
So hopefully we did that.
And so I'm thinking we are doing that, right? Hopefully we've done that, right?
We have big plans. We always have big plans.
Yeah, we do. Okay. So that being said,
You can dry it now?
I'm going to dry it now, but I want to thank our moderators for coming to. Hi, and hope everybody had a wonderful New Year and
a safe one too.
A safe New Year and happy holidays for everybody.
Do you want to smooth out your creek any, or you don't mind the little ripples in it?
Well, I don't mind because it's water.
Okay.
I might just come through like this and kind of do this.
Okay.
Kind of zigzag it back and forth, but I don't have to smooth it out too much. It's fine.
No.
All right. drying.
All right, drying it.
So we're back. We've dried a little bit.
We dried quite a bit.
Yeah, we've dried quite a bit. Now what we're going to do is make this kind of a gray blue sky back here with a little bit of the light coming through our picture.
Our goldness.
Our gold here, because we're going to have the light coming kind of like through here, kind of at an angle like
that. Do you have the picture again there?
What?
Your square thingy.
What thing?
Your traceable.
Okay, so we want the light to come from back here into here. See what we're trying to create this light through here. See what we're doing?
Yep.
That's the plan.
Okay.
So now we're going to make this sort of gray sky. So we're going to start with white and a little Payne's gray. Okay. And maybe the Payne's gray is just black and ultramarine blue and white. And I want a little bit of phthalo in that, just like 1%.
Ooh,
okay.
That's like kryptonite.
And a little bit of maybe mauve, that purple color. Let's try that. Okay, so that's a little purpley. I want a little bit more turquoisey. Okay. I'll get the color eventually. I want a little bit of gray here. Now we're going to have to just say lots of white here. So that's not. Oh, let's try some of this color. Let's try that, a little bit of that buff titanium, and there's my color. See that? You notice I didn't keep digging into that pile. All right, so I'm going to say that there's my. Going to kind of come down at an angle like this. On my sky. Kind of come across here. I've got some zinc white here. I think I'm going to add to that as I get lower to the horizon. Like in here, here's some zinc white into that color. Everything's kind of at an angle. Coming down here like that.
Doing that zinc white is letting some of the gold show through.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah. Come back up here with this color. This. And as I add a little bit of the zinc white, you're right, the gold is sort of popping through a little bit, isn't it? Now we'll just take a little bit of the zinc white here. Brush is still dirty. Keep coming this way, and I want to just come kind of over on this side now. A little bit of this blue color. Okay, now as I get to the area where the gold is, all right, I'm going to kind of rinse my brush, and I want probably just a little bit of zinc white up here. It's a winter sky, after all. I was going to say, is this gold? Maybe a little bit of zinc white and magenta. What would that do? Cad yellow light. That's pretty. Okay. Pull a little of this color in there too. There you go. Just want it to be a little bit lighter here. Let's see. Come on up. And just let some of this gold kind of, this is going to be, just a second, let me just get some boundaries here. There's our creek. Oh, I'm just lost. I don't know where I am anymore. Where's the paper? I came down a little lower. See, here's where my hills are. It's right about where this gold is. I need more gold up on the top here than I've got. So I'm going to maybe just even erase some of that. Just take a little water. What do I got? A little paper towel. There we go. Just going to have this erased a little bit. I want the sky to kind of peek behind the trees like that, right? Just exactly like that. There we go. So then, right, we'll just take a minute and dry that, okay? Let's just do that real quick so we don't lose that, right? Now, we know we've got this row of trees coming up behind here, this back row of trees. So we're going to take a little bit of just the mauve color. We're going to kind of see a little bit of mauve. Did I not put out yellow oxide? I sure meant to.
No, we did talk about it.
We talked about it.
Yes, you did. I was there. I witnessed it.
You remember I mentioned it, right?
You said, I'm thinking that.
Sometimes the little tiny bit of the yellow oxide in the mauve kind of creates this different color. And I want to suggest that there's some row of trees here, and let's take a little bit more purple and blue. Let's get some blue in there. I'm going to come up here like this, and I don't want one color. And here's a little bit of blue, a little bit of purple, a little bit of mauve. Lump up in here that's a little dark. Maybe take a little bit of zinc white. Too much blue, so let's go back to purple. Okay, a little bit of mauve. Oh, a little bit of magenta. Here we go. We want to come up here like this. We're going to come across. You don't want a picket fence. You want this to all be a little bit different. And just using the brush, coming up and down, overlap. This does not require gobs of paint. I talked the other day, well, today, but it'll be like months ago to you. But
you're having trouble dealing with the whole time.
Yeah, this time travel thing is really crazy. You know, we're all time traveling together. About the difference between Impressionism and, say, more realism. And Impressionism does not mean. It does mean kind of things are not as detailed, but that doesn't mean globbing paint on your brush. There's a thought that somehow to be an impressionist, you've got to glob a lot of paint. It just ain't so. To put paint on the brush and then kind of wipe it off. Here's a little bit of this gold color in here too through the trees that's coming over the top. A little bit of cad red, naphtha crimson and orange too. I want a little bit of that color in there too to suggest that by my trees up in here toward where my backdrop is here.
I love the colors in the back.
Yeah, it's nice, isn't it?
Yeah, I think we ought to just leave it right there.
It's pretty, right? And then I'll just take a little bit of just some blue down here. Just make this a little bit.
Make that gold into a little bit of brick pattern, and we just have the yellow brick road.
Our city.
Yeah.
It's kind of a Wizard of Oz looking thing, right? Okay, so now this is sort of interesting. We're doing that, which is interesting, yeah. And we've got this light coming through here, and now I want to work on the water. Let's just totally do something different. So we're going to work on the water. We have something called glazing medium, which we're going to be using some of. This is satin. Ooh, it just came out in the wrong place. This wasn't screwed down, John. So I've got a blob there. So what to do? Let's just wipe it up. Let's not
panic, people.
Not panic. Let's just wipe that off the table and see if we can't get it to come out the right spot. Okay. All right. There you go. That wasn't so hard, was it? Satin glazing, we could have done that. Okay. So now I've got a little glazing medium. And what I want to do is create layers of color. Something we haven't really talked about, but we're going to do it. So one of the things with glazing is if you can get a transparent color, that's good. So believe it or not, Payne's Gray is kind of a transparent color. So let's just start with Payne's Gray and glazing medium, like that. And I'm going to add a tiny bit of phthalo blue to that. Okay. And then we're going to look at something and see if we even like the color, see? We're not going to just go dump it on our painting. What are you putting there that I'm knocking down?
I have no idea, because I don't remember putting anything that heavy or big on top of anything over there.
Well, it's annoying.
Well, it's not there anymore.
whatever it is, it's gone.
It's gone, so we don't worry about it
All right,
anymore.
so here's some pink. I want to just see what this does. See that? Over the pink, this glazing. So I want to just, I'm looking at that, doing a little bit more phthalo blue in that. Just a touch. Not too much. Because, I mean, remember, if you're mixing it like that, there you go. So let's try this again. There we go. That's pretty good. So I want to come down here like this over my gold. I'm going to glaze this back a little bit and see if that's working. Now, you don't follow along because this may be a terrible idea. I just think this works. How's that? So I'm going to glaze this back like this, keeping the brush strokes kind of going this way. Now, it's probably what this is going to do, because the gold is so shiny. Do you see how it kind of turned it ungold? Is there such a thing as ungold?
Oh, yeah. You degolded it.
I degolded it. Well, that's all right. That's all right. It's okay. We were just trying it anyway. Okay, so now I've got that. So I'm going to add a little bit of burnt sienna to this glazing medium now. And I want to come down here to this part of my water. And I'm going to just do this. A little bit of burnt sienna to that. Kind of make this a little uneven here. You don't want a straight line. Okay, and then I'm going to come up here like this and suggest there's an edge to this creek. Kind of like this on the edge of this. With my glazing medium, there you go. And let's see, let's wipe off the brush and maybe come out this way. I don't know. I'm playing here to see trying to see what effects we can do. Probably on our riverbank, we can have that. Maybe a little bit of dazzling purple on this now, just on the brush. Oh, that's that magenta. I guess it isn't even dazzling. All right, see how I'm just kind of applying some colors, and almost a watercolor effect, right? So there you go, something like that. Now, while this is still wet, if I took some some of this mauve color and came through like that, just maybe did the side of the brush and indicated some shadows here, something a little darker. Okay, a little bit of ultramarine blue and Payne's gray. Came along here with a little darker edge, like that. And maybe around this edge too, as long as I'm doing it. Let's move this out of the way, our test piece. Okay, I'm gonna move that like that. Come down here like this, change colors to burnt sienna, and just kind of wander around the edge of that. Okay, so what I'm trying to do is get this kind of layered look to the painting by using glazing medium. So that it definitely toned down the gold a little bit, right?
Yeah.
It toned it down. Now, what I'm going to do is we're going to dry a lot during here, but you won't notice it because you're not here while we pause the video, so you're not going to know. But
what do you mean
drying.
you're not here? Well, of course they're here.
Okay, I'm drying this. So what I think I can do is get some more glazing medium.
In a different color.
And because glazing is one of those things where it's not one covers one time. It's like 6 or 7 coats of something covers something. Does that make sense?
Yep.
So I'm going to just do the same thing with a little bit of the blue color here like that. And I want to do it one more time. Now you'll notice because I've toned the gold down that it glazes a little easier. The color's sticking a little better. See that? It can glow over itself and change a little bit. The same thing here. I want to do something here. Along here like that. And See, maybe I just probably could just even paint it at this point, but I want to make sure I've covered this. There you go, like that. All right, so now I'm gonna, all the brush strokes are going this way, and then if I wanted to lift something up while it's still wet, I can just take a wet brush and dig a hole in this and lift up a little gold if I wanted to suggest that there was some gold here. I can kind of erase some of that back. Yeah. Okay, so far so good. Now, this one, I'm not going to do any glazing liquid. I'm just going to do the burgundy color. Come along here. It's the little ultramarine blue, I think, and there you go. That's the color I want. I want to come over here again like this and cover up some of the gold and suggest some trees back here along my bank. And this is a pretty dark line here. All right. This whole area here is going to be darker. This whole corner is going to be darker. So, maybe I can take some of that blue color, pull it in there a little bit in between. There you go, something like that. All right, I'm saying that's darker. Probably a project isn't a good YouTube one at 8:30 in the morning, but okay, it is what it is. Now I've got a little bit of white on my brush, and I'm going to come this way, and that's that little zinc white coming out across here like this. And I want to suggest that there's the zinc white going to come just this way, down from our water like this. Probably should dry something, but I'm still working on the reflections in the water. Here's a little bit of phthalo blue and purple. That's pretty. And zinc white being a transparent color. And let's just come up here like this and put some of that color in. All right, so now we're going to do another dry. We could dry, or we can just go paint something else. But I really want to get this. The river in here is everything. The reflections are so important. So John, note that we'll be drawing in a little bit. Here's just a little.
Duly noted, my queenness.
Okay, we'll be drawing. There's just a little magenta, and I'm going to put a little magenta on here and purple coming this way on the outside of our river like this. This will be the line. Like that, and then I want to come out here with that magenta and or purple and magenta, and then here's like a little edge here to our water that's going to come this way, and then kind of come around like this. So that's a little dark edge that we want to say we're painting. Little Payne's gray right here. Just we'll kind of notch that in later. Okay. Got something a little bit dark right there. Yeah, we can do that. A little bit of dark. We'll just start putting in where there's a little dark area. And we know we've got something coming down here like this with a little bit of brown, purple. And I'm saying that this is coming down this way.
Basically starting to block it all in.
Yeah, that's what we're doing is we're blocking it all in. And a little bit of zinc white.
Because we're going to need some paint on there to paint on.
We're going to say that's a little bit lighter here. Now I'm just into zinc white and kind of this purpley mauve colors that come in this way. And all right. And let's just take some zinc white and Payne's gray. Now, okay. Come this way. Let's see, I don't even see we got any Payne's gray and zinc white. Let's try that again. Okay. I'm going to come in this way and kind of tone this to area down. Okay. Now all this is going to get painted a different color, but these are the tints that I want underneath. I think, understanding, I think this is a good title for this video now that I'm doing it would be Understanding Underpaintings. I'm going to come along through here like this and say that We're just going to tone the canvas is basically what we're doing with this. Someone's going to watch and say, that's not toning the canvas. Well, it's how Ginger's toning the canvas, so please, no letters and disparaging remarks. A little bit of titanium white and a little bit of phthalo blue and purple. And we're going to say this is, we're just going to start putting this in like that. I can paint this fairly quickly. I just wanted to fool with the water a little bit and see how I was going to do it, because I had a couple of different ways to do this water, and wanted to make sure that the way I was doing it was going to be satisfactory.
The way that you were thinking was going to be...
Yeah, just something a little bit lighter across here like that, back here. See, we're already sort of pulling in this, picture of how we want to do this, all right? And at this point, we'll just draw it. But do you see how we're starting to put in where there's going to be a reflection where there isn't going to be? So we want the underpainting tones of this, the titanium white and Payne's gray. I'm just going to darken the board here. A little bit of phthalo blue, and then white and Payne's gray. And come down here like this. And this is a little blue than I want, so let's put some magenta in it. Well, so that a little bit of yellow to kind of tone that down. A little bit of white. There we go, kind of a gray color. But in other words, I want some of these tones underneath here. Yeah. With me kind of laying this out, you can kind of see you can kind of see it almost now, can't you? But we still need some more of these darker tones in here. So this is magenta and ultramarine blue. Want some of that color, a little bit of zinc white and magenta. And yeah, let's just try that. So we're going to be saying that's coming along here like this. A little bit of red. Ooh, that's pretty. A little bit of yellow. That's pretty. So let's just bring this back along here like that through our woods. There we go. Now, we know that at some point there needs to be some drying. Like some of that gold color right there. That's pretty, right? And we absolutely understand that, and we'll dry this in a second. But the thing I'm noticing most when I'm doing the personal art coaching is that you guys are a lot of you are picking photographs to paint from, and they have no contrast, no lights or dark. Turn your photograph into black and white, and if it looks all one color of grays, then it's not the photograph to use. All right, so we're going to go ahead and dry this, and then I'll keep going. See,
all right, we're looking good now.
So this is where most people quit and say, well, I give up. This didn't work, right?
This is looking ugly.
Let's not do this, right? But actually, this is what it has to look like kind of first, you guys. And so I hate to break it to you, but that's kind of how it has to be. So we're going to now start finishing the painting. So I know that back here, okay, so basically if I were to do this again, would I still use the glazing medium? I don't know. Maybe not. I think I gave it a good try. Sometimes you want it. I think if I wasn't using the gold paint, I might use it. So I'm going to try another tactic. We're going to try another tactic. How's that? We're going to get sort of a light blue color. I want to come through here with little brush strokes like this in my water, like that. Well, not like that, because I want that lighter. Just going to sit there and say there's some light, and I want some of that gold kind of peeking through, but I don't have to go nuts, right? So I'm just going to say there's some lighter, here's something a little more mauve. The colors. Just I want to keep all the brush strokes level though. This is key here. I can probably, well, when in doubt, revert back to how it might have been painted as an impressionist. You know, we've got this dark line and then there's this kind of circular pattern here to the water. It's coming around the bend. And some of the most interesting paintings are the ones that have got all these colors. And we're going to add a little bit of mauve here to this. See how I'm just all the little brush strokes coming that way? And when I get down to here, I'm going to add a little bit of brown in the water. This way. And I didn't put any burnt umber out, did I?
No.
And that's a color I'm going to want. I thought I would just mix it, but I'm just going to add it. Actually, that's raw umber. That's even better. We're going to do a little raw umber. And why raw umber? Because raw umber is a translucent color. Where raw umber is, you know, it's like cellophane. So we're going to add a little bit of this raw umber to this. Okay. And what we're doing is we're managing where we want our light. All right. Like this. We're just where I want the light colors, where I want the purple. And it's not thick paint. And you guys that are globbing it on, stop it. Put the paint on your brush and wipe it off. I'm always tapping the paint off my brush, and I don't see enough of that. Okay? Not seeing enough of that. And you know the other color I want too, and you're going to go, what? And it's cadmium orange. So I want something a little brighter here. There. You see, so you can see the reflection in the water now. And you see how we're focusing where the light is, almost like a flashlight beam. We're saying where we want you to look. So here's the light yellow, cad yellow light, and a little bit of that orange color. Okay. Wipe it off, and I'm going to come up here like this, and I'm going to come across, see a little bit of that color. There we go. Just the tiniest bit, and right along the bank edge here. Where this says, I don't want to see this dark line. I just put it there so we'd barely see it, right? Right along here, this dark line, I've got that kind of warmer color. Like that. Okay, let's take a little bit of brown, come back in here like that. And, you know, this is probably more of a complicated painting than we normally do for YouTube, and I apologize. This is the kind of thing that you see in our academy all the time. But it's the new year, so this is kind of, we kind of took New Year's week off, which we felt we ought to. But it's a little bit of magenta here. I see colors in my picture, and I want to put them. I see the colors, and just a tiny bit of color here somewhere. The same thing in here, and then I want this edge over here to be very dark. So let's a little bit of magenta and burnt sienna, I think maybe. I was hoping that the glazing would be very effective here. See, it wasn't as effective as I was hoping, because again, this is the area where you want it pretty dark, and I wasn't getting that doing the glazing. But again, that's all right. Doesn't matter. That's what paints are for. You just keep making this area pretty dark. Keep changing colors, lights and darks in here. It's dark, but remember, it's reflecting some trees we haven't painted yet, which is why we're using a reference photo, so we know where it goes. And if we have to come back and lighten this, we can. Okay, so that's the darkest spot on here, and then let's do a lighter spot. Kind of a purple mauve color. Right along here, actually. I think I have to put some titanium white, just some titanium white on here in Payne's Gray to lighten this up. Right along here, we'll just keep this going like that. Okay? Then I'm going to do the next color, which is sort of Payne's Gray and white. A tiny bit of ultramarine blue. We're going to come here to the next layer, and we're going to say this is this, and you barely want to see this line. You want a dark line, but barely want to see it. And the same thing here. You don't. It's easier to just skinny up a line than try to do a thin one. So as we go back this way, we're lightening it up a bit. It's getting more light this way. So you'd see what we just did, right? And then over here, see, I'm just kind of focusing right in on this. Over here is some light white that's reflecting. And I'm hoping that the gold just kind of shows up here. Overdo it. A little yellow oxide tone stuff down, and we'll see how that dries. We may need to come back and play with that, but I think I'm pretty happy with with the light that's playing. I mean, we're exaggerating it because we're artists, but I'm happy with the light that it's playing in here. Does that make sense, John? It's kind of neat, isn't it, really, when you think about it? John, over there, anybody home?
Yeah, I'm still trying to wrap my head around what's going on here, though. I mean,
you still can't see it, right?
I still can't see it.
That's so fun. Don't you love it? You can't see it. What can you say?
I can't see how you're doing this one.
That's all right.
You got me, miss. If I would have given up on it.
Yeah, I can see that. Remember that I'm just getting a light blue in here now like this. John, I love it. I would have given up on it. That's all right. It's all right. Maybe you would have too. And again, this is sort of advanced. This is not beginner acrylic 101.
Well, I think
sure.
we're going to a 3 cookie on this little puppy.
Well, we did because I got all crazy with the white. Kind of simplified it and just not done the gold. But once we committed to the gold, right? Then we committed to the rest of it, right? Again, I would just say ignore the glazing liquid didn't help. That's the way I would put that. All right, so now you're going, okay, but I'm liking this. You're going, really? Why? You just go, yeah, I'm liking this.
It's one of these pieces that you're going to have to wait till it's completely done. You go, oh, now I want to paint it.
Well, it is, John. It absolutely is. It's one of those pieces where you're going to have to...
It's kind of a surprise ending.
Yeah, absolutely. Kind of a surprise ending. Because, whoops, didn't want that color. Wanted this color. A little bit of that right there is okay. And this is where you...
It's got great colors in it so far.
It's great. Got great colors. It does. And if you mix a color that's not right, erase it. Just take it off your brush. Don't just keep going and say, well, what the heck, it's not quite, but I'll do it anyway. None of this, I'll do it anyway, even though I know it's not right. Okay,
No, in this particular piece, I don't think you can do that.
You have to, you pretty much have to, get the colors that you said you wanted. And, okay, let's a little bit of purple and blue here. Okay, you okay?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, like that. I'm just putting in where some of my darker areas I know are going to be. Something a little darker right along here, but not the whole thing. The mistake people make is that when they paint something like this, is they want to outline it. And if I could tell you that thick and thin lines are good, but also you just don't want to get in the position of outlining what you're doing, okay? And if you can keep for instance, like I know I've got some of this reflections coming this way on the water. Keep everything zigzag like that and watch the patterns. This is a lot of painting is pattern recognition and understanding where the patterns are, where you have to be with the patterns. And I'm not going to put the rest of the reflections in until I do the tree, but I think that's pretty good. So give me a second, I'm going to dry that.
Hey, it's a way to start off the new year.
Well, I didn't mean to, but I mean, I don't want it to have it crummy either, so.
No.
So, all right. So moving along, I'm going to start putting in my background. This is a ruby satin brush, and the reason I'm using it is because it's softer. It's a little bit softer brush. And it's just alternating between mauves and all of this in here where our trees are going to be kind of hidden. Okay. The same thing here. I'm going to do that where I like trees. Let me just wipe that off and just come back here a little bit and say this. I know I want some white in this area back here. Okay. Way in the back, I want some white, see? And then here in the front, I'm going to say that I've got some snow going this way. Just turning the brush stroke this way and dealing with the paint I have. Letting some of that other color underneath show through, so I'm not totally painting over it. Okay, just sort of mounding it up. So there you go. So there's some snow there, and we're going to do the same thing on the inside of this area here. Remember, we painted it all purple, and you're going, yeah, but I don't understand why you did that. Well, we did it so you could have these undertones coming through like this. You know, does it starting to make more sense to you now, John? Not yet.
Not really.
Not quite seeing it yet, huh?
Not quite seeing it yet.
Okay.
I know we've got a bunch of snow and we saw the trees, so it's getting there. It's a very, very unusual one.
It is, because it's definitely. This would probably be a good one for a speed painting, wouldn't it? As a commercial, kind of a commercial for it.
Yeah.
Just do this as a speed painting. Okay.
It's starting to come together. You're starting to give it some form now.
Yeah. Starting to see a little bit of the patterns. A little bit of green in there. A gray-green color. Okay, so you're starting to see a little bit of that, right?
Yep.
Now, I want to dry that. Okay, you guys, so this is our final piece, and we've stopped the video here. You want to see how I got from where we ended the video on YouTube? We want you to all come on over. Hop on over to acrylic painting to gingercook.com, and it's free. You don't have to pay for anything. It's all free. Go on over to our website and see the final steps it took to get from where we left it, so where you just saw it, to this, because that's where the education starts, and I think you're going to love it. And by the way, please subscribe to this channel. We haven't done this kind of thing in years where we skip to the website. We've got one other painting that we've done that with, which was years ago. We did it with the Van Gogh Starry Night. And I haven't done that in a long time, but we think this was a good one to break. So this is the kind of painting where you really want to take your time with it, and I took my time with it, and I hope you love it. Bye.
Ginger Cook, the queen of color, with a blazing brush at the speed of light, and a blank canvas, and a hearty yes and yes. The queen of color, Ginger Cook, and her sidekick, John Little, teach you to paint with acrylics.